Okay. Okay. And when all the graduate students entered, then we're going to move to this one. Okay.
So once then, I hold the perch this way or this way? Just still on the shoulder. Still on the shoulder. Okay.
Come down the neck.
Take one from here. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats as the commencement procession will begin in just a few minutes. We want to thank you for your cooperation in providing the documentation we were required to collect before allowing you on campus today. We also appreciate your willingness to follow the New York State mandates that are required in order to hold this celebration of our graduates. Please silence your cell phones during the procession and the ceremony as a courtesy to our graduates and guests. But please do share your favorite commencement moments with us on social media. Tag your photos and videos with hashtag Fordham2021. Again, that's hashtag Fordham and the numbers 2021. and gentlemen, welcome to the Gabelli School of Business ceremony for the 176th Fordham University commencement. We extend a special welcome to those joining us virtually. For the 75th year, the start of the annual academic procession has begun with the traditional ringing of the victory bell. The bell was presented to Fordham University by Admiral Chester Nimitz as a memorial to the Fordham alumni who died fighting for their country during World War II. The ship's bell is from the aircraft carrier Juno, which served in the Pacific before it was silenced by an aerial bomb at Saipan. The bell was first rung at Fordham by President Harry S. Truman on the occasion of his receiving an honorary degree in 1946. Leading today's academic procession is Associate Dean of Research and Faculty Development, An Yang, who is carrying the verge for the Gabelli School of Business. Professor of Information Technology and Operations, Sarah Wu, is carrying the banner of the Gabelli School. Next in the procession are candidates for master's and doctoral degrees from the Gabelli School of Business, which is concluding a year-long centennial celebration. The school traces its roots to the School of Accountancy, which opened in 1920 in Manhattan's Woolworth Building. In 1929, a 4-year Bachelor of Science program was launched, and in 1969, graduate programs were instituted. Candidates for doctoral degrees are wearing the Fordham maroon doctoral robes. The school's inaugural Doctor of Philosophy candidate is carrying a hood with a dark blue border, while the Doctor of Professional Studies candidates are carrying hoods with a drab border. Master's candidates are wearing black master's gowns. Master of Business Administration candidates are wearing hoods with a drab velvet border, while Master of Science candidates are wearing hoods with a gold border. The Gabelli School of Business's class of 2021 numbers 989 graduates receiving advanced degrees. Today, we will celebrate 270 members of the school's class of 2021, including graduates from Fordham's Lincoln Center and Westchester campuses. Fordham degrees will be presented today to 14 veterans. Veterans who are candidates for degrees are wearing a medallion on a yellow ribbon, a symbol of Fordham's gratitude for their service and of the university's ongoing participation in the post-9/11 GI Yellow Ribbon program. Fordham salutes all U.S. military members, veterans, and their families, especially those who are here with us today. Next in the procession are members of the faculty and administration of the Gabelli School of Business, members of the Fordham University Administration, and members of the Fordham University Board of Trustees. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this year's honorary degree candidate and the speaker for today's ceremony, Edward M. Strauss, founder of Strauss Friedberg, a global leader in investigations, intelligence, and risk management. Mr. Strauss, a 1979 graduate of the Gabelli School of Business, is escorted by his faculty sponsor, Mohammed Nijad, Marketing Area Chair and Associate Professor of Marketing in the Gabelli School of Business. At the end of the procession are Dr. Donna Rapaccioli, the Dean of the Gabelli School of Business, and the university's president, the Reverend Joseph M. McShane of the Society of Jesus. And now, please welcome Lead Graduate Advisor and Assistant Dean, Ilza Frierson, our Master of Ceremonies for the 2021 Gabelli School of Business ceremony.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Gabelli School graduation event. It is my honor to introduce the invocation, which will be delivered by Fordham's president, the Reverend Joseph M. McShane of the Society of Jesus.
Good afternoon, my dear friends. Before I invite you to pray, a few things, if I might. First, I would like to acknowledge your families who are with us in the back. Families, I want to thank you on behalf of the entire university for allowing your sons, daughters, wives, husbands, siblings to come to Fordham. I want to thank you for entrusting them to our care. They have inspired us and filled our lives with great joy every day that they have been here. Therefore, please know that we are in your debt. I'd also like to remind you that in a very real sense, you are now members of the Fordham family as well. Graduates, or Rams, not by degrees, but by love, and therefore Rams by desire and by tuition payments. So come back often and stay long. To the graduates, I don't know if you feel the mood of the parade this afternoon. The place is awash in gratitude, love, and a sense of satisfaction and victory. This is a great day for you. Congratulations. And now, my sisters and brothers, let us join our hearts and bow our heads in prayer. Blessed are you, Lord, God of all creation. Blessed are you for the gifts and graces with which you have filled our lives. And blessed are you on this day of days for the gift of the Gabelli School's class of 2021. Lord our God, you sent these women and men to us as a gift, and they have proven to be just that, a gift, and a gift beyond measure for everyone at Fordham. They are men and women whose education has been inspired by the mission and aspirations of the university and the Gabelli School. Therefore, Lord, I can tell you that they are different from the run-of-the-mill business students or business graduates that you may run into. Trust me on this, O God of wisdom. Trust me. Even though I'm a Jesuit, trust me, please. In a world and a profession that can all too often be focused on statistics, bottom lines, and profit and loss reports, they have been challenged to develop a far broader and richer vision, a vision that doesn't hesitate to see business as a noble profession. I know, dearest Lord, that the world's cynics may protest that that is an oxymoron, a reach, an overstatement, a contradiction in terms. But not at Fordham, and certainly not at Gabelli, and most assuredly not in the eyes of your servant Pope Francis, who has himself said that business is a noble vocation, provided that those engaged in it see themselves challenged by a greater meaning in life. This will enable them truly to serve the common good by striving to increase the goods of this world and make them more accessible to all. Lord, these are women and men who have heard and been haunted by the words of your Son. Of those to whom much is given, much is expected. Therefore, they have come to understand that since they have been given such great resources of mind and heart, you ask them, and you will always ask them, to do great things for the entire human family. These are men and women who have devoted their years in our midst to becoming compassionate business leaders, whose lives are and will always be marked by a deep desire to enrich the human family. These are women and men who believe that business has a responsibility to contribute to the good of society in ways greater than mere profit. In short, O Lord of all wisdom, mercy, justice, and love, in the course of their time in our midst, these, the members of Gabelli's class of 2021, have come to believe that they are called to be the kind of prophetic business leaders that the world always needs, but especially needs at this inflection moment in human history. As we send them out into the world, we commend them to your loving care. And we do so with this prayer written by Thomas More, who served as the Lord Chancellor of England in a complicated age much like our own. And I'd ask the graduates to imagine themselves saying this prayer. Pray that I may be trustworthy with my confidences, keen in study, accurate in analysis, correct in conclusion, able in argument, loyal to clients, honest with all, courteous to adversaries, ever attentive to conscience. Sit with me at my desk and listen with me to my clients' tales. Read with me in my library and stand always beside me, so that today I shall not, to win a point, lose my soul. Grant that my family, my colleagues, and my clients may find in me friendship and courage, cheerfulness and charity, diligence and duty, counsel in adversity, patience in pain. Amen. Amen. My friends, you're barely out the door, and we're lonesome for you already. You're rams for the rest of your lives. Come back often, stay long, tell us tales, fill us with great hope, as you have done while you've been with us. God bless you all.
I am happy to introduce our national anthem singer, who is a Gabelli School of Business alumnus. Mina Grace earned his MBA from Fordham in 2013. Mina once placed among the top 100 finalists on American Idol, and today we have the honor of him singing for us. Please join me in welcoming Mina, and please stand for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' bright glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the
I would like now to call up Anosh Ravikumar Iyer, our full-time MBA program, to deliver remarks. Please be seated.
Sorry, just a second. A very good afternoon. I'd like to start off by thanking the people that made it possible for us to be here. The faculty, administrators, our families, mentors, and our friends. It's a pleasant change to address more than 20 people without a screen between us, and I am truly honored to have the privilege of speaking to you today. It took me a while to figure out how I could sum up these 2 years. I tried to pen down my thoughts for this speech and give us some closure. But I realized this is merely another beginning to our journey ahead. When you leave here, don't forget why you came. This quote resonates with us because the decision to pursue a professional degree isn't an easy one. To give up a career, to give up stability, and for some, traveling halfway across the world to obtain quality education is no small feat. We had the desire to learn, do better, and build a bright future. But in that process, we got so much more. We built a community, we made true connections, and genuinely understood the meaning of business with purpose. Our grad school experience wasn't anything like what we imagined it would be. We had to treat Zoom like the best friend we never had. We made the phrase, "Can you hear me now?" part of our daily vocabulary, and shed a tear every single time we saw a new meeting invite on our calendars. The struggle has been real. But the willpower and determination you have showcased through it all is second to none. To our loved ones, your unwavering support is what we needed. And to our faculty, your guidance and mentorship is why we succeeded. To my student council and all the student clubs, you have motivated and engaged the student body in so many creative ways, and I'm humbled and grateful to have had the opportunity to lead and work with you. My fellow MBAs, this would not be the same without you. From playing soccer in Argentina and losing terribly, from working the whole day to busting out moves at the end of the night, from the initial awkwardness to chanting uno mas at least 100 times so that we could spend more moments together. Even though these may seem like a few memories, we know how special and true they were, and for that I thank you. It was my dad's dream to see his sons become graduates, and I cannot end this speech without thanking my mom for making it happen, and my brother for giving me the strength that I needed. My dear classmates, wherever you go, go with all your heart, and in that process, help build a better society for our present and our future. And with that, I congratulate the graduating class of 2021. We did it, and from here on out, the only way is up. Thank you.
I would now like to call up Omolola Kufile of our Masters in Marketing Intelligence program to deliver remarks.
Good evening to you all. I am truly humbled and honored to be a student speaker on behalf of the class of 2021. I would like to welcome and thank our wonderful faculty and administrators for your guidance and support throughout our journey. to our beloved family and friends, in person or joining us virtually, thank you for your endless love, unwavering support, and constant encouragement. We are truly blessed to have you. We couldn't have done it without you. On a personal note, I would like to say thank you to my husband, Kenny, for always believing in me and for being my loudest cheerleader. To my children, Timmy, Alyssa, and Alexis, thank you for jumping on a plane and crossing the Atlantic to go on this wonderful adventure with me. I especially want to thank Dean Rappacioli. Being a recipient of the Dean Scholarship definitely made it easier to attend Fordham. I also had the pleasure of working alongside a wonderful team of administrators in the Graduate Advising Office, sitting right here beside me, Kay Cannon, Lonnie Houston, and Ilse Frierson. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to experience the great work you do behind the scenes. And a special thank you to Professor Najat. It was a privilege to work with you and to learn from you. I can remember walking through the doors of Lincoln Center for the first time, nervous and uncertain what my experience will be, especially as an international student. The warm welcome, smiling faces from faculty, administrators, and students quickly turned my anxiety to excitement as I was immediately welcomed as a part of the Fordham family. At Gabelli, we learned the true meaning of service to others, which was built into every action, thought, and interaction. Every day was a new opportunity to experience the spirit of Gabelli, seeing fellow students selflessly supporting each other academically, professionally, and emotionally, with the aim of ensuring everyone succeeds in their journey. Friendships were formed in and out of classrooms, and friends became family. Students from different professional backgrounds, countries, and cultures came together to create unforgettable memories and expanded their professional and personal network. We learned key leadership principles and stepped up as leaders, despite all the challenges in the past year. These learnings have positively impacted us in and out of Gabelli. It is undeniable that the past year has been challenging, and most of us didn't get to experience what we had hoped for, and our euphoria of being on the Gabelli campus was short-lived. However, it's been amazing how we creatively stayed connected and maintained our spirit of togetherness while being apart. From Zoom classes and remote team collaborations, to virtual networking and career sessions, virtual movie hangouts, baking classes, reading clubs, and many others. Many of us embarked on our job search journey with all the uncertainty around us, and being an international student definitely brought its fair share of challenges. We were, however, blessed to have fellow students, faculty, administrators, and alumni support us at every step, offering us career advice, referrals, references, coaching, and even helping us practice for interviews. We have grown to be resilient and determined as we have navigated this journey, which has no doubt resulted in continuous success stories. I am proud to be a member of this community and a part of its success story. I had wished for one last time to walk around the halls as a student, hanging out with my friends at Argo Tea, going to the library to study, but that didn't happen. But I know I will be back to see our wonderful faculty and administrators, and to also give back in every way that I can. To my classmates, thank you for being a part of my journey at Gabelli. I will forever treasure the friendships I formed in my time here. I hope we all continue to surround ourselves with the meaningful relationships we formed and continue to relive the great experiences that have shaped us. I look forward to seeing all our successes as we all proudly represent Fordham. Thank you to my family, to my classmates, to my parents, my brothers, to everyone that have supported everyone here today. Thank you especially to the class of 2021. Congratulations, we did it.
It's such a joy to be with all of you. Those of you joining us through live stream, the families and friends way in the back, hello, welcome. but especially the class of 2021. You are truly amazing. I want to give you a round of applause. You are indeed a very special class. This class includes the greatest range of degrees in our school's history. 3 forms of the MBA, full-time, professional, and executive. 11 Master of Science programs, including our first 2 fully online programs. And for the first time, our 2 doctoral programs, the Doctor of Philosophy and the Doctor of Professional Studies, both of which are developing the next generation of scholars and teachers. Again, congratulations to all of you. As you heard from your classmates, the academic experiences that led you to this moment differed in many ways. Some of you completed real-world Gabelli School consulting projects, providing advice to Fidelity, UCFB London, the US Tennis Association, and even NGOs in Argentina. Many of you participated in March Madness. You studied green bonds. You analyzed Glassdoor data and SEC data. You used artificial intelligence and machine learning, and you got to hear from Mario Gabelli. Some of you competed in the ACG Cup, others in the Total Impact Portfolio Challenge or the CFA Challenge. Some of you developed original research, writing your dissertation on topics such as auditing and capital markets to customer satisfaction in the financial services industry. But no matter which courses you chose, which projects you did, and which degree program you completed, you all experienced and contributed to something in common. And that is the Gabelli School culture. I hope that culture is familiar and comfortable to you now. It values business with purpose. It values teamwork and lifting one another up, recognizing that we can achieve much more together than we can alone. It values questioning our outlook on the entire world. It values academic and professional excellence and the strong belief that there is always a better way. This culture is extremely important to me. It's one of the reasons why the Gabelli School is the right place for me to work. I hope that you feel like it was the right place for you. But as you begin the next steps of your careers, one of my greatest hopes is that you each now find a workplace with a culture that resonates with you, one that makes it possible for you to be your best. I recently read an article written by the head of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the company Active Campaign. If you haven't heard of them, they offer cloud-based products to manage the customer experience. I'll read a quote from her article. She says, "When I joined the corporate world, I learned that companies have unique cultures of their own. I came to appreciate the importance of finding one that was right for me. We spend so much time at work. Finding an organization that welcomes us for who we are is crucial, not just for our happiness, but for our growth and success." This author, her name is Reem Jaglet, argues that when a company has a welcoming culture that aligns with our own values, we feel a sense of belonging that will keep us focused and productive. She says that if a company's culture conflicts with our values, we'll all expend unnecessary energy justifying who we are or pretending to be someone we're not. So as you move into your post-mortem role, I hope you find a culture where you feel fulfilled and where you can be yourselves. But I also challenge you, because you are the future business leaders. I challenge you to remember the role that you need to play in creating this kind of culture for others. Your Fordham experience can inspire you. Use your future leadership positions to create workplaces that are inclusive and foster belonging, where people feel proud of who they are and can use that uniqueness to generate value. Create a culture where everyone feels invested in the enterprise and that they are irreplaceable parts of the whole. It makes me really proud that you will have a hand in shaping the culture of the workplace of the future, and I'm excited to see what you'll create. As Father McShane said, we want you to come back often and stay long. One of the reasons people say Fordham has such a wonderful alumni community, which is likely one of the reasons you chose the school, is that our alumni are world leaders in staying in touch. And that's a torch that I'm asking you to carry. So sign up for alumni events as soon as you start getting emails about them. Contact your former professors and offer to be guest speakers in their classes. And keep an eye out for Fordham students who are applying for work at your companies. And stop by campus. We have truly loved having you here. On behalf of everyone at the Gabelli School of Business, congratulations to the class of 2021.
Each year, we ask our graduating MBA and MS students which faculty members had the greatest impact on their learning and institution of the Gabelli School of Business. Students vote on 3 awards. I would like to briefly recognize the faculty winners. The Dean's Award for Faculty Excellence is given to an exceptional adjunct faculty member. The winner is Nani Kusin. The Gladys and the Henry Crown Award for Faculty Excellence is given to a full-time faculty member for exceptional performance and devotion to the school's ideas. This year's winners are Bozina Mirsejuska and Sultan Kabadai. The third faculty honor, the Stanley Fuchs Award, is presented in memory of a former chair of law and ethics, who was a devoted teacher and student advocate. This award is given to Sultan Kabadai. Congratulations to our faculty winners.
I now invite Trustee Anthony Carter, Ed Strauss, and Mohammed Najad to come forward and stand in front of our diploma table. Reverend Father President, I have the honor to present to you Ed Strauss to be awarded the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
Throughout his career in law enforcement and cybersecurity, Ed Strauss has brought ingenuity and humanistic perspective to problems often shrouded in technical jargon. In so doing, he has not only helped make the information age safer and more secure for all of us, but he has also demonstrated an enlightened response to threats arising from our complex, interconnected world. A native of Manhattan's Yorkville neighborhood, Strauss earned a bachelor's degree from Fordham in 1979 and worked in banking and accounting before joining the FBI as a special agent in 1984. At the Bureau, he investigated public corruption, arson, and major international financial crimes. And in 1996, just as the internet was taking off, he created and led the New York Bureau's Computer Crime Squad. 4 years later, he founded the digital forensics firm Stroh's Friedberg, now known as Aon Cyber Solutions. As the firm's co-president from 2000 to December 2020, he oversaw its growth and advised clients responding to internet extortions, denial of service attacks, computer hacking, insider abuse, theft of trade secrets, and electronic discovery matters. He was highlighted by Fortune magazine in 2016 for his pioneering use of behavioral science to gain insights about the intent and state of mind of computer users. Human behavior is the key to crime, he told Fordham magazine in 2010. No law in the books ever threw a computer in jail. Stroh's, now a freelance consultant, has generously shared his expertise with Fordham. In 2009, he helped the university take a major step toward establishing its own leadership in the internet security field by co-organizing the first international conference on cybersecurity, hosted by Fordham's in partnership with the FBI. The conference, held every 18 months, attracts top law enforcement officers and industry professionals. Stroh's has been a frequent expert panelist at the conference, integral to its success both behind the scenes and in front of audiences. A Fordham trustee fellow, Stroh's has been an advisor to the Center on Law and Information Policy at Fordham Law School, and he and his wife, Sally Spooner, have been magnanimous in their support for the Gabelli School of Business at Fordham, establishing both an endowed faculty chair in accounting and an endowed scholarship for students in the program.
For skillfully bridging the public and private sectors to promote cyber resilience, and for his tireless efforts on behalf of his alma mater. We, the President and Trustees of Fordham University, in solemn convocation assembled, and in accord with the chartered authority bestowed upon us by the Regents of the University of the State of New York, declare Edward M. Strauss, Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, and that he may enjoy all the rights and privileges of this, our highest honor. We have issued these letters patent under our hand and under the corporate seal of the university on this, the 22nd day of May in the year of our Lord, 2021.
Dear graduates of the Gabelli School of Business, class of 2021, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. Allow me to also offer special thanks to President McShane, Chair Bob DeLeo, Provost Dennis Jacobs, and Dean Donna Rapiccioli for this opportunity. You know, not just anyone is qualified to apply or to be accepted to the graduate business programs at the Gabelli School. After the journey that brought you to that point, you met every challenge and succeeded, all during a time of unprecedented difficulty. Each of you has accomplished so much, and today can wear that as a badge of honor and a source of pride, just as we are proud of each of you. With the generous support of Mario Gabelli and Regina Pitaro, leading by the example of their generosity, business education at Fordham recently celebrated 100 years of growth and evolution. Today, we even grant doctoral and PhD degrees from our business school. It's an amazing story. As I was listening to my introduction, if I were in the audience, the business career I've had might seem odd to you. A bank examiner, an FBI agent, a CPA, and an entrepreneur. But there are common threads linking them, and you might find some observations helpful in your own careers. In 2014, a book was published with this title, My Billion-Dollar Education Inside the Mind of a Rogue Trader. It was written by the late Mr. Toshihide Eguchi, who was known as Toshi, about a $1.1 billion fraud he carried out at a large Japanese bank from their New York office in the mid-1990s. Upon opening that book, you will find these words which he wrote in dedication. Quote, to Edward M. Strauss, without his compassion for humanity and dedication to fairness, I would not be here to write this book. Now, if you are wondering how I came to meet Toshi, it occurred back while I was an FBI agent, and I was the one who arrested him for his fraud. Now, you would not expect that experience to lead someone to write that kind of a dedication, and I am quite proud of it and remember Toshi fondly. Now, later, when I retired from the FBI and started my own firm focused on computer investigations and cybersecurity, many people did not expect someone with my background to be able to run a successful business. In fact, the fact is that most new businesses fail. Our firm did not fail. Instead, it grew a lot and became the basis for a case study by the Harvard Business School, where I lectured about our firm and what they called our secret sauce. By the time my partners and I sold the company to Aon PLC, we had over 500 employees in 14 offices spread across the United States, Europe, and Asia. Now, what did Fordham Gabelli have to do with these accomplishments? Almost everything. I took the Jesuit values to heart about care for the individual and aimed to treat everyone with respect. When I arrested Toshi, who was born in Asia, I wanted to ensure that he was treated justly and would respect how the American justice system worked so that he would tell us the truth about what he did. When I was growing my firm, known as Strauss Friedberg LLC, I was able to identify and attract some of the best people. To this day, the aspect of my firm that I am most proud of is the quality of the people who elected to work for us and why they stayed. Now, the business world you are entering is highly integrated across your disciplines. Your constituents expect that your company will perform its work in a way that is sustainable for its people, for society, and for the environment. You are living in the most dynamic business environment any of us have ever seen. There are so many examples that can be cited: cryptocurrencies, privacy protections, non-fungible tokens, and needed infrastructure investment. It's not just a buy low, sell high world. Investors, customers, regulators, and employees are seeking businesses that function with purpose to serve a broader community while using a sustainable model. The emphasis today on environmental, social, and governance qualities, often referred to as ESG, is a clear example of this. Of those three qualities, it is the G for governance that is most important to you as Fordham Gabelli graduates, because that G only comes into play through people like you who are in management. Remember that business has purpose. That purpose is to create wealth, which is more than just profit. Wealth encompasses a caring workplace, quality products and services, and care for the environment. Let me offer you this advice as you take a Gabelli School degree into your future. One, listen to the people who love you, including your spouses, parents, and family. Even in business, the advice they offer can be helpful. Some of the best advice and support I received came from my wife, Sally Spooner, whom I am proud to have with me today. Second, be able to explain how your specialty skills, whether they are in finance, marketing, economics, or whatever, integrate to the other areas of business. Think of your professional profile in the shape of a letter T, where you have one primary skill that you know very deeply, but also a wide bar horizontally at the top that shows you have an awareness of how it connects to everything else your company does and how it engages with society. 3, embrace and practice humanistic leadership and management. This is naturally connected with the Gabelli School's education and Jesuit values. 4th, you have earned your Fordham degree while in New York City, one of the most racially diverse and international cities in the world. Remind people when you need to that you have experienced firsthand the richness of diversity and how to embrace and benefit from it. And lastly, I would say you only get one chance to make a first impression when you meet another person. As Maya Angelou often said, and I quote her, "People usually don't remember what you said, but they always remember how you made them feel." If you practice humanistic management, you will leave a good first impression naturally. As we honor you today, I ask that you help Fordham and yourselves to build the Fordham brand through the power of your example. To quote from Vince Lombardi, Fordham College, Rose Hill, 1937, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." Good luck, and may God bless you all.
Thank you, Ed, for your wise words and for being here with us today and for being a role model for all of us. I'm sure our graduates will remember your remarks as they begin and continue their careers. For more than 100 years, the Gabelli School has been engaged in business education, preparing global business leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers. This year is a special one in our history as we celebrate the achievements of the Gabelli School's first PhD graduate, as well as the Gabelli School's Doctor of Professional Studies graduates. Doctoral graduates, your work here has advanced the Gabelli School's mission in research, teaching, and public service. Now we're counting on you to continue that work, to share with others what you've learned here, and to take on the challenges that we face as a society. As you go out into the world, you will carry Fordham University's standard of excellence with you. Today, we gather to share in the joy and pride of the doctoral degrees being conferred on this group of scholars. As I call the name of each doctoral candidate and their advisor, I ask that the student and advisor please stand and come forward. And at this point in the ceremony, their academic advisor will ceremoniously place the hood over the student. Ni Ming Wan, Marketing Analytics, being hooded by Yi Lu Cho. Supposed to put the hood on him. Yep, in the front. Hai Shan Wang, Operations Management, being hooded by In Hui Wu. The other way, turn in the back. Joseph McCalley, Accounting, being hooded by Dr. Iftikhar Hassan. We would also like to congratulate the 5 other DPS graduates who could not join us in person today, but are joining us via live stream. Chown Jen Nu, Business Economics. Shaw Wei Shen, Financial Economics. Dong Shi, Entrepreneurship. G.A. Chang, Business Psychology. Ming Chu, Human Resource Management. On behalf of the Gabelli School of Business at Fordham University, congratulations to our first doctoral graduates.
We are now excited to present you with the ceremonial scroll today. There will be no handshaking, but Dean Rapaccioli will hand you the scroll as you walk on the stage. Before we begin the presentation, I would like to recognize our MBA and MS students who were elected to honor societies, named to the Dean's List, won special awards, were recipients of the Gabelli School Thoughtful Leadership Certification, and also were Gabelli School peer advisors. Thank you for all of your hard work and service. You saw your recognition in this morning's virtual diploma ceremony. Now, it is with great excitement that we begin the most anticipated event, the awarding of diplomas. Members of our class of 2021 have completed requirements for a wide range of programs. 3 curricula within the MBA and 11 Master of Science programs. It is our tradition to award degrees by program, as each program has its own unique curriculum and requirements. 2 of our Fordham colleagues will announce the names of the graduates, Dr. Kathleen Cannon and Lonnie Cusin. Dean Rapaccioli, you have the pleasure of bestowing the scrolls. I'd like to ask you all in the audience to please hold your applause until the last student receives the scroll.
Before we begin, in addition to the thoughtful leadership certifications announced this morning, I am pleased to celebrate these 4 awardees: Alexa Bastone, Carla Jackson, Caitlin Morley, and Sarah Mounzer. And now, the candidates for the Master of Business Administration degree in the full-time cohort program are Anosh Ravi Kumar Iyer, Rocco Tutino, Zacharias Grobe, Wayne Hong Chen, Alberto Cohen, Aiza Oliveira Ferreira dos Santos. Herman Renin. Castapanos Miliorasis. Jesse Benjamin Arnaud. Justin Kozlov. Gerard Gengal. Andrew Gelblot. Kaval Kandwala. Allison Haley Costin. Jasmine Foster. Stephanie Ann Getz. Elizabeth Rose Stack. Akshay Pai. Ying Zhou. Yashavardhan Shah. Isabella Chiol. Michelle Iram Gleiman. Stephanie Ann Parada. Belen Prebish. Daniela Andrena Vasquez. Zachary Mosseri. Matthew Bar Tinkelman. Chen Ding. Teiko Koyata. Sarah Agnola Liev. Nikita Shah. Avneet Guman. Henry Marcelino Franco. Aishtu Amara. Yurhi Jen. Su Chen Liu. Teona Aviliani. Mesut Ulug. Anna Greshella Massanan. Prabjit Singh Munaja.
The candidates for the Master of Business Administration degree in the professional program are Courtney Richardson, Kenneth Zeffler, Kyle Alva Richards, Stephanie Lucia Isabella Milano, Claire Catherine Tedesco, Denora Rabinez Perez, Jeremy Robert Dowiak, Stephen Beezer, Surya Sarapali, Andrew Spanos, Matthew McGillivray Salmon, Bayan Amara, Julia Jaffe, Amanda Levin, Emily Lorraine Davidson. Patiri Jelani Reed. Licia Ducton. Yasmin Marie Hernandez. Catherine Nicholson. Vanessa Rivera. Katharina Liscano. Paul Serro.
The candidates for the Master of Business Administration degree in the executive program are Otilia Maria Silva Jimenez, Mitchell Jimenez, John Michael Hogrig, Patrick Williams, Stacy McCown, Terry Ann Clarkson, Aristides Flores, Michael Dwyer, Ebebe Lawrence,
The candidates for the Master of Science degree in the accounting program are Amanda Catherine Bush, Ansley Lizelle Dizon, Isabella Bree Albani, Kaylee Wong, Riying Shen, Jinshuan Li, Shuang Qiu, Matthew Fisher, Dominic Gagliostro, Jose Abreu, Ian Jong Kuznati, Christina Lofazo, Francis Fortaleza, Jenna Polinkovich, Joseph Spiro Scariano, Isabella Cosabilli, Margaret Bygate Aiken, Keisha Kim, Yinan Zhang, Lanjun Liu, Casey Ann Crawford, Sarita Jen. The candidates for the Master of Science degree in Applied Statistics and Decision Making are Yashin Nancy Guo, Julianne Negron. The candidates for the Master of Science degree in the Business Analytics program are Rishi Purar, Juntao He, Saim bin Sajad, Christel Kam, Ola Sverdal, Yohabet Tejeda Caballero, Tassin Rakib Himi, Zarek Khan, Lloyd Mitchell, Tianyu Liu, Saikun Zhang, Shuya Sun, Anne-Marie Donahue, Constantine Weiss,
The candidates for the Master of Science degree in the Global Finance program are Tara Doty, Aluasi Asulu, Sanira Zelalova, Michael Kevin, Anjali Anjali, Justin Fisher, Saif Bardawala, Parth Kothia, Juan Biafrade, Zemin Yu, Rosvina Gonsalves, Anusha Paris Jain, Oshka Abhishek Shaw, Neri Kwaku Koju, Du Cheng Peng, Shin Rei Dong, Xiao Yan Wu, Xiao Li Ge, Su Yan Chen, Joshua Yao, Jing Chan Chu, Priyank Sangal, Wei Yong Shen, the candidates for the Master of Science degree in the Information Technology program are Ray Min Wei, Ron Tien, the candidates for the Master of Science degree in the Management program are James McIntosh, Jr., Rowena Bergmans, Justin Edward Deschart, Catherine Rose Levis, Mei Ki Chen, Aaron Frager, Abigail Campos, Crystal Knoll, Jessica Marie George, Nadine Flores, Aaron Cameron, Vianney Praxele Tenio, Aurelia Saiku, Andrew Yong Tek Chia, Ellen Chesney, Kayla Morrison, Liradona Kelmendi, the candidates for the Master of Science degree in the Marketing Intelligence program are Hella Bormesh, Yuanjing Wu, Yi Wei Bai, Bin Ru Yong, Sa-Rei Wong, Lu-Shi Zhang, Hao Jiang, Xin Han Qian, Alexandra Marie Stevens, Omolola Temetope Kufile, Ain Nguyen, Luisa Teixeira Batista Dorrego, Valentina Valero, Wahida Shuk, Bing-Shi Shang, Celine Wang, Hana Kalei Sharon,
The candidates for the Master of Science in Media Management degree are Sarah Tornatore, Amanda Salazar, Michaela Ann McDonald, Danielle Marie Coggins, Taylor Rogers, Michelle Alexandra Olivo, Alexa Bastone, Sarah Mounzer, Caitlin Marie Morley, Fernanda Chenchi Perez, Michelle Shipley, Chang Gabriella Yang, Dana Olivia Seach, Dia Cicedo, Manal Abdelfada, Josefina Kokovic. The candidates for the Master of Science degree in the Quantitative Finance program are Gleb Dunev, Kevin Lee, Xinyu Liu, Lu Jiang, Xianying Zhang, Shuwen Peng, Xiang Zhu, Xinyu Jerry Shi, Minghan Sun, Chiasin Tony Kuo, Zohaib Muniz, Vivek Yadlapali, The candidates for the Master of Science degree in the Strategic Marketing Communications program are Joyelle Yvette Ray Alexander, Nadia Afzal, Antoinette Warren, Ebonique Edwards, Jamila Carmichael Carey, Rebecca Putman, Catherine Marie Andis, Katrina Stephen, Ashley Carter, Matthew Ruiz, Gregory James Ackerman, Jasmine Pastor, Liz Marys Montano Ariza, Terry Mitchell, Marissa McDonald, Erin Freilich, Marlene Martez, Bridget Patricia Martin. James Mota. Sharina Simone Caldwell. The candidates for the Master of Science degree in the taxation program are Justin Willard Cohen, Jared Finkel, Victoria Iannotti, Shayna Jasmine Singh, Joseph Veneri, and from the MS in Global Finance program, Kriti Arora.
So the crowd is pretty quiet. I think we need to give this class a huge round of applause. Woo! Graduates, we're just about at the end of our ceremony. But I'm going to ask you to do one last favor for me. I want you to stand up a moment and think about the people who helped you get to this place. And if they're here, look at them or think about them in your mind and give them a great big thank you cheer. Now, to conclude our ceremony, I'd like to ask Father Michael C. McCarthy of the Society of Jesus to come forward to give the benediction.
Let us bow our heads. You go now into a world that is in long recovery. May you yourselves speed that recovery. You go now into a world that deeply needs healing. May you yourselves be sources of that healing. You go now into a world that thirsts for justice. May you yourselves promote justice in everything you do. You go now into a world that longs for joy. Remember then joy. After a long winter of loss and languishing, remember joy. The joy of active life, the joy of touch, of families gathering, of smiles broadening without cover, the joy of sharing space, of constructive citizenship, of common celebration, the joy of working together, of the chance meeting over coffee, the joy of grandparents sipping iced tea with their grandchildren on a spring afternoon, the joy of this wonderful day. Remember joy. Be joy. Spread joy. And may God bless you who have always been the joy of your families and who shall ever be the joy of Fordham University. Amen.
That concludes our graduation event today. Congratulations to all of the graduates. We wish you all health, luck, and nothing but the best moving forward. And you may toss the hat.
Woo! Woo!